In our last story for this episode, we profile a young woman who created quite a stir at her home because of the profession she's pursuing. No, it's not illegal, nor is a job bereft of values. Instead, she's pursuing something very different, her faith.
Meghan Singer is a 24-year-old from a typical home in a comfortable Los Angeles suburb. She excelled in school, graduated college, and recently got her master's in social work. But while most of her classmates are working on building a career and a family of their own, Singer is doing something different. She has made a choice so out of the ordinary, she has to hide it from her family. Hide it in the trunk of her car.
The packet from the sisters that I received when I was accepted is in here.
Singer has decided to devote her life to God and become a nun.
I have been accepted to a religious order, the Dominican Sisters of Mary, Mother of the Eucharist, out in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Singer is one of only a couple hundred young women to choose this path in the U.S. every year. The number of religious sisters in this country is less than a third of what it was 40 years ago, and only 1% of those are under age 40.
In the present time, it is true there are fewer vocations. There are so many things that pull them toward worldly values. I mean, it's really counterculture to enter a religious community. It's not the thing your parents send you to college to achieve.
My family isn't supportive of a vocation. It's kind of taboo, it's not expected, and if it does occur, it's to be stamped out.
When Singer began considering religious life during her junior year of college, she kept mostly quiet about it, only telling her younger sister.
I kind of saw it coming a little bit because she was always involved with the church, and I just saw it in one of her blog entries, and I just confronted her about it. I was like, is this something you're seriously considering, or are you just kind of joking around? What's the deal?
But to Singer, it was no phase. It was something she had been thinking about since she was a teenager.
Since my family only saw church and religion as something as a Sunday thing, and if it wasn't convenient, you didn't go, I started kind of causing some rifts in the family because I wanted to go to church. Come hell or high water, let's go to Mass. And I was like, that can't be it, because I want more God, and I don't want to have to wait until I get married.
In college, she got involved with various Christian groups, homeless ministry, and social service projects, but it never seemed to be enough.
And God was like, you're on the right track, but you want to do something more. You know, I want you to consider looking at something else. Well, it didn't really hit me until I went on a family vacation in Italy in summer of 2006. And I landed in Rome after like a 12-hour flight. And God's like, that. I want you to do that. And I look everywhere and there's just nuns everywhere. I'm like, no. And God's like, well, okay, fine, I'll back off. But when you're ready, I want you to consider it.
And consider it she did. For a year, Singer thought and prayed about it. She signed up on a website designed like a dating service that matches applicants with the religious order that will best suit them. And gradually, she narrowed it down.
And I didn't go on my first retreat until November 2008. I made up a lie for my mom and told her it was a national convention for Catholic leaders. Bit of a lie, but you know, if you want to really do it, you gotta make some effort to get there.
In the winter of 2008, she joined the Dominican Sisters of Mary, Mother of the Eucharist for a weekend retreat and asked for her application to join.
It was just an absolute ease. It's like coming back home, except I had never been there before. Why was it that I felt like I knew those hallways? I could see myself. I could see myself in the white habit and the black veil walking down those hallways. It was God saying, this is a good place for you to be.
But returning home with the news was a mixed blessing.
Eventually told my dad, who had before not been aware of my vocation at all. And so I told him that I was in discernment and I think God's calling me to go to the convent. He's fairly supportive of it. Not as supportive as I would like him to be, and the main reason of that is my mom. I just told my mom this past June. I remember the day, I remember the time, so I was worried sick about it. I told her that there was a retreat for a week for other young women like myself who were thinking about religious life, and I'd like to go. She was very upset about it. Said many hurtful things. I'm not going to repeat all of them.
My mom she doesn't really understand where my sister's coming from. She doesn't understand my sister's passion for it, for the church, and she just doesn't get it. From my mom's point of view, she kind of views my sister's extreme involvement as slightly a bit of an obsession. So she just doesn't understand where my sister's coming from because she doesn't know the whole truth. So.
Well, I have a P.O. box to receive mail from religious orders. I've come across family opening up my mail from religious orders and having some fights and arguments over it.
I think we see in the lives of the saints, St. Francis of Assisi having to deceive his parents, maybe you could say in the beginning. The parents' resistance, especially her mother, to her making this choice means that her mother is interfering with her freedom.
I feel like a hypocrite for keeping it under wraps. I mean, the New Testament is littered with examples. Be the light of the earth. You don't hide it under a bushel basket, and yet that's exactly what I was and still am doing. I was supposed to enter this past August, but due to my student loans, I couldn't enter, so I had to wait until I pay off my loans.
The idea of the student loan became a new problem for orders because communities feel that it takes away your freedom. If they pay the debt, then you don't have the choice to leave.
Singer owes almost $47,000 in loans. She's looking for a job to pay it off, and now she's asking for help.
As you may know, I've been in discernment for the past 3 years and accepted for entrance to a convent, the Dominican Sisters of Mary, Mother of the Eucharist, this past year. I would love to enter the convent soon, but can't with my student debt. Below is my vacation story. In here, I have about 50 letters, to be sent out, and they all look like this one here, where you get an envelope to fill out with how much you want to donate. You're in a relationship with God. It's like being in a relationship with your boyfriend or a fiance, and you love him and he loves you, and you're willing to do anything. And last minute, you're told you can't do it this year. That's a tough thing to get used to. This is something I wanted to do, and something he's calling me to do. And I have obstacles in my way, and they're not insurmountable, but graduate student loans and a mother who's not happy with you they're big things, especially for a girl. You want the support of your mom. I don't have it. I might never have it. Meanwhile, you can't sit and wallow. A lot of these prayer groups and things, they help me keep my faith grounded. It's easy to see how my schedule falls apart in the home environment it's in. I get that there's pain in this world. Whether I get pain in not going and, living everyday life as though you want to be somewhere else. It's a chance for me to really say, I'm sticking it out. Come hell or high water, I am here, and I'm sticking with God, and He's by my side, and I don't know, he's got my back.
That's it for this edition of Impact. Be sure to check out all of our episodes at www.uscimpact.org. Now here's a look at some of our upcoming stories.
The character is this living, breathing extension of your brain. So if they don't do it right, what they get is a stinky, smelly, disheveled-looking guy in a suit. Monstrous-headed critters, if you will, in pajamas.
You tell people that you fish the LA River, the first response is like, are there 3 eyes on the fish? Do they glow? There's a lot of misinformation when it comes to the river. They think it's a sewer system. A lot of people think it's a sewer system, which, it's not.